everybody, it is me, Demetra K, and I am so happy to be here with you. I am also here with Donovan throwing rocks and hiding his hands to deep, and this is the Demetra K Show on Facebook, YouTube, and the podcast. And so I'd just like to say thank you to Donovan for making all of this possible, for us helping the message go just a little bit farther. So I also like to say thank you to you guys for being here on Facebook, YouTube, and the podcast. And so I'm going to give people just a second or two to come on here so we can discuss our topic of, and I'll repeat it a couple of times so that nobody is lost. And the topic is, while everyone is fighting for immigrants, who's going to fight for black people? I will say that again. While everyone's all fighting for immigrants, who's going to fight for black people? And so, I don't see who's on here, but hello to you guys, and I'll go ahead and get started with my notes for the sake of time. Okay.
And a disclaimer, Facebook has changed their format, so we took a little longer to...
Right, no, actually it was Donovan's fault. He's always on CPT
Yes,
time.
I am, yes I am.
Actually, that was my fault. I was trying to, it looked like Facebook changed the format, which I like. I kept, my wording kept disappearing. I was like, where'd it go? So I figured it out. But anyway, hey Sydney, what's happening? Yeah, I just swooped it over to the side and pat it down. I'm not sure if I'm going to let it grow or cut it again. I guess stay tuned, right? So, okay, I'll go ahead and get started. And so, you say got a better hairline than me. Now I do. I don't know if it's receding, but... So anyway, the purpose of this show is to talk about things that go on in our community regarding black love, knowledge, and understanding in order to make us better people. Hey, Hannah, what's happening? So I'll get going. While everyone is fighting for immigrants, who's going to be fighting for black people? Okay. As it has been widely reported, America's immigration issue has reached a boiling point. Specifically, Trump's immigrant family separation policy has come to the forefront of an international debate. Now, under Trump's policy, immigrants who crossed the border illegally were being separated and were being detained. The parents went to a criminal detention center, and the children went to a separate detention facility. Now, the ideology behind the separation was that children could not go to jail with their parents because it's considered a criminal act to cross the border illegally, right? Okay. And so I'm just giving you guys a little background so that way you won't say, what are we talking about here? What's the immigrant issue? So I'm giving you guys a little background. All right, now back in April, Attorney General Jeff Sessions made it very clear while he was visiting the Mexican border that there would be a zero tolerance policy, and people who cross the border illegally would be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Okay, now fast forward to a couple of weeks ago, pictures of immigrant children, I'm going to get to you guys' comments in just a second. Pictures of immigrant children being kept in cages began to surface, and all hell broke loose. Politicians and protesters and supporters of the policy began to make their voices heard. The more the protesters protested, the more the Trump administration doubled down on the zero tolerance policy. You guys saw his Secretary of Homeland Security saying that it is what it is. Basically, it's the law. We're not going to waiver for it. But that obviously that was then. Okay, and then the Trump administration had a change of heart. Trump signed an executive order that ended the separation of families, but people are still unhappy because many of the children are not accounted for. So I guess they're saying about 2,500 or so children were separated, and so now they're still trying to put them back together. And some of them, they're like, okay, well, we don't know exactly where they are, who belongs to who, so it's a mess.
And let me correct you. Trump administration did not have a change of heart. His executive order does not change anything. It just keeps everything low. Everything is still in motion.
Yeah, they said there's a lot of loopholes.
Now he's just going to put the kids with the parents in custody, which he can't do, but that's the executive order. Right.
So basically, they're saying they're not going to separate. From now on, they're not going to separate the boy. Like you said, it's still kind of like
up in the air.
Yeah, it's up in the air, very arbitrary, if you will. Okay, and so on a side note, the separation of the family policy did not start with the Trump administration. It started with the Obama and some say Bush administration. In fact, the photos of the children in cages that began to surface were actually taken under the Obama administration. In fact, many children who were detained during the Obama administration ended up in the hands of human traffickers. I guess I don't know how that,
for everything.
but they said that's the truth. It did happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, not to blame Obama, but it's not exclusive to Trump. They just ratcheted it up, if you will. Okay, and then so let's see. I hope I've covered all the bases and the basics of what's going on. Now, let me make this very clear. I do not advocate for the separation of families at the border.
I do.
Donovan does. I'm saying I don't know if he's serious, but okay. Now, with that being said, everyone has taken up the cause of the immigrants. Even a lot of our so-called black leaders or misleaders, however you want to classify them. We've seen Kamala Harris fighting for the immigrants nonstop. We've seen Al Sharpton, Sheila Jackson Lee, just a whole host of other black.
A lot of the news commentators,
news commentators, so the figureheads, I guess, if you will. We've seen them and heard them rally on behalf of immigrants. Okay, and now so let's see, where did I go? Hell, I've even seen many of the people on my social media timeline ranting about it. I made a statement that basically said, I hope to see black leaders go hard for us like they are for the immigrants, and some of my black friends took issue with that. Okay. Some assumed that I didn't care about immigrants. Some said that black and brown people need to unite and laugh out loud because most brown people ain't trying to unite with black people. I mean, let's keep it real. That's not their mission here, okay?
Nope, not at all.
And we'll get into that a little bit later. I'm going to read every one of those comments.
And that's why it's so funny. A good portion of Hispanics are Republicans.
Right. But people won't talk about that, though. Okay? And then so, where else did I go? And then I say, it's amazing how we cape for others before we cape for ourselves. So I ask you all here today, while everyone is fighting for immigrants, who's going to fight for black people? By the way, someone recently asked what side of the debate I'm on, and I told them that I don't have a side. And he told me, well, you got to pick a side. And I said, well, if I had to pick a side, I'm on the side of my people.
Right.
Plain and simple. So if that makes any sense. So I'm going to get to you guys' comments. It is a whopping 90 degrees here. Not too bad, but if you guys start to see me sweat, that's why, right?
No, she's sweating because she's sitting next to me.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of hot air. Okay, and then let's see. Charles, what's happening? He says, you're just beautiful either way. Well, I appreciate you so much for that. Hey, Robin, what's happening? And Derek says, hi, Demetra. How is it going, Queen? It's going fabulous so far. Robin says, wrong emoticon. Don't worry. It's all good here. And Adam says, if you're black and the answer isn't me, you're an asshole. You said it, I didn't. And Cindy says, well, some of these illegals went far north as New York. I would like to know when this happened. My tax dollars should not be used here because he's in New York.
Yeah.
Okay, and Charles says, a misdemeanor offense treating these people like this is unacceptable. I don't care who it is. We have empathy and compassion and outrage about this. Yes, it adds to numerous racist, sexist, bigoted, acts by Trump, Obama, Bush, and consistent with white supremacy and colonialism.
You gotta come on the show. You gotta come on the show.
Donovan's clapping, and Cindy said shaking your head when you said that you are on the side of separation. I think he was joking, y'all. And Hannah says, under the Obama, those kids came alone, unaccompanied children was the term. Okay, so there's some back and forth because I've heard that some of them were with the parents, so I don't know for sure.
Yeah, you gotta, and my thing is about separating the families. Hey, if it happened to us, it should happen to everybody. We want you to get the full experience of this white man. Okay? I want you to make sure when you come to America, you get the full experience of, how he does others.
We're going to get into that.
Good.
They need the full experience?
They need the full experience. When you come to America, this is what don't come here.
Right. Hey, OG, you say they don't like us. Okay, we're going to get into that.
That's it.
Cindy says, so what emotions were you going for? Never mind, don't want to know. It's 90 degrees here in New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
Well,
and it's humid in New Jersey.
Yeah. Okay, I would just say this. Because, as I said before, I'm not saying that I think that the separation should take place, but I just think there's a lot of things that not just black people, but people in general, the conversation that we're not having here. For one, as I said at the beginning, we have a lot of our black leaders who are continuously showing us that everybody else is going to be a priority. And I'm going to start calling them black misleaders. Everyone else is a priority, but us. Then we'll get back to you. You know, and that means.
And they never get back to us.
And they never get back to us. And guess what? We continue to vote for them. And I'm going to show you guys. Can I show them you this time? Is that okay? Show you guys Donovan. So that way you won't think I'm just, you know, like talking to a ghost. That's Donovan. Okay, so we continuously have our leaders fighting for other people, but they like imagine if I haven't heard anything from Maxine Waters, so I don't know where she's at in things. But people like Kamala Harris.
She's worried about her election. That's what they're worried about.
Is that what that is?
She doesn't want to make any waves because, you know.
But imagine if those people went hard for us like they do for everybody else. We might be a little bit further along. I mean, I'm thinking.
Not gonna happen.
I mean, these people are at the borders and they're, you know, at people's houses. They might go, and I'm not mad at them, but it's like, wow. What about us? Like, those are
wait.
overwhelmingly.
But we had a black rally in St. Louis for that kid that got shot. How many black congressmen and people rallied up there with those guys?
Oh, you mean the little boy in Philadelphia?
No. A while back, that kid got shot in St. Louis. How many black leaders converged over there and with the protesters?
I mean, they might tweet about it, but
yeah, they don't show up when it comes to a black issue. But when it comes to anybody else, they're right there getting the news.
Right. But I guess we also got to ask ourselves why our black leaders don't feel compelled to rally on our behalf. I know the answer, but I want to see if somebody else will answer. Hey, our son, how are you? He says, hi, how are you? Sorry, but I'm late and don't be right on time. I missed it, but I do need to know about these kids. Has this situation just come out of nowhere, or was it this way before? I mean, basically, I want to find out what everybody is attacking Trump about. Like, what did he do or start? Well, from what I understand, the amount of children that were being separated, doubled within from April until now?
Right,
so
and everybody's saying 2,300 kids are missing.
Yeah.
Now, remember, this stuff is still being enforced, so that number has gone up at least by 1,500 by today. So
right.
We're talking about over 3,000 something kids have been separated from their parents.
Right.
Just because they get on the news and say, we've stopped this, it has to trickle down that order, so they're still gathering people.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And then and the other thing I wanted to talk about, now this might be very unpopular, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's just a fact, and I'm not on anybody's side, like I said, but I do like to look at facts, and one of those facts is that it's illegal to cross the border. And so, like from what I understand, can you go over to Mexico just over there whenever you want to?
No, Japan, any of these other countries, you try to overstay your welcome.
Yeah, you can't just cross over to anybody else's border and say, oh, okay, well here, just come on over here and, we'll see what we can do. And again, I'm not saying it's right what they're doing to the children, but we need to address that issue. Like for me, if I heard that people was locking people up and separating the kids and stuff, I'm not going over there. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that's my nephew that's calling me, and I told them I won't lie. Hey, I don't know if you guys can still see me.
Finish. No. There you go.
Lord have mercy. I apologize for that. God,
he keeps calling.
Okay, you know what?
There you go.
Hold on 1 second, you guys. Can you tell Deanna to tell Isaac to stop calling me?
Sure.
Please. That is my nephew somehow is on Facebook. He has a messenger, and so he keeps calling me. Why, I don't know. He wants to talk to his Tia. That's fine, but I'm busy here, so I've had my daughter call his parents to tell him interrupting my broadcast here. Anyway, as I was saying, it's illegal.
Okay. It's
illegal, and nobody wants to address that. And, just as black people, it's funny to me how we champion the weirdest things. Not that champion on the side of immigration, immigrants being separated, but you can't go commit a crime and have 100,000 people, millions of people. You won't have millions of people rallying on your behalf. They're going to say, well, you shouldn't have broke the law.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, and so, Cindy is a weird. Cindy says, all I know is I'm sick of us helping everyone else out, and I'm only a small minority of us. Yes,
Amen,
help us. Exactly. And then Cindy says, the conversation also needs to realize the war on drugs started this.
Mm-hmm.
True. And then Hannah says, separation is not the tragedy. Losing the kids are a prolonged process. Also, there are people making millions, housing, feeding, consoling, transporting, and clothing them. And that's what they were saying under the Obama administration. A lot of the kids that end up with, with the human traffickers, they weren't not. I don't think they were being sex trafficked, but they were being trafficked to do what do you call it, like farm labor and child labor is what these kids were doing, and they didn't know. But to your point, a lot of these people were just taking them for the money and the labor and stuff.
And everybody else, I think about this. Trump brags about what a great negotiator. He's the best there ever. He just went over to Korea and gave all these concessions when Korea didn't give nothing.
Right.
And then, if there's a problem with the border and things like that, why is he not talking to the leaders of these countries where they're letting their people come over here nilly-willy? Wouldn't that help stop some of the flow? Or is this a conspiracy?
Right. Well, I mean, y'all getting real deep now. And hey, Teddy says, but in order to seek asylum, you have to be on U.S. soil. And so that's the other thing. A lot of them are saying, well, hey, I'm trying to get political asylum here, I'm fleeing persecution, or whatever the case is, but I guess at the border they're like, well...
Yeah, but is your boyfriend or husband beating your ass persecution?
And that's a good question. Like, how many people are really trying to get political asylum, or are you just trying to come over here? Like, don't lie to kids.
Yeah.
Are you really just trying? Because I personally know people who are over here and maybe not so documented. They're starting to get that way now, but and especially before Trump came into office and this big old immigration thing, people were just like, I'm here.
And and isn't this funny? We have American citizens living on an island in Puerto Rico where half the island still doesn't have power.
But we fighting for people, and again, there's no shade to immigrants, but we're fighting for people who have somewhere to go. But to your point, Puerto Rico is not even 50% operational, but yet we done forgot all about that, and they're part of the U.S.
Yeah, and they're U.S. citizens.
Unbeknownst to Trump.
Right, of course.
Right.
Of course.
And then Charles, he says, because we still stuck carrying the water of the Democrat Party in the church and for free. The corporate media and corporate politicians don't give a F about us. Let's see. About us. We don't make our money strength felt because we continue to buy and spend within white American immigrant stores in our community. And honestly, that is the root of the problem. Not only are we always fighting for everybody else's causes, but we send our money to people who will never give back to us.
Yes.
Won't ever even recognize us to anywhere. And I hate this. This is an argument I really, 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 really wish people would stop using. And that is, black and brown people need to stick together. I really wish we would stop doing that, because we're trying to stick with people who aren't necessarily trying to stick with us. They're not coming over here to say, well, now we're going to go help black people overtake this thing. They're like, we're trying to be above black people. We're trying to be better than black people. And so, Al was texting me, and we're trying to be better than black people. And Dr. Claude Anderson talks about that all the time. He says, y'all some silly Negroes, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's like y'all on a rallying for DACA and all these other things. He said, they coming over here to overtake you. They're not coming over here to help you. They're coming over here to replace you. So,
I agree.
And then Cindy says, well, I know until late 2000s we could walk to Canada. Yes. Can't do that anymore.
Can't do that no more. You can't even go to Mexico, Tijuana without a passport.
Remember, you just walk right on over. Right. And then Charlie says, that looked like Penn State, he's talking about your cat. It looked like the Penn State
Nittany Lions.
Nittany Lions, okay.
Yeah, that's the infamous Thailand. So if you see the screen moving behind us, that's him.
That's bad Thailand, okay? And then he says, I have friends in South America, and they said it's getting bad. We caused a lot of it, meaning the government.
Yeah, if you, I went to Mexico about 3 months ago, and on our side of the border, there's no troops there. We have retail shops and outlet malls right on the border there. You go to the Mexico side, they've got armed guards with guns.
Right.
Soldiers. They've got armed soldiers. So you try to get over there, they're going to handle your situation for you. Yeah.
And then so Sydney says, and Flint has no clean water. And he said, USVI still have issues. So yeah, I mean, those things, like we just stop and drop everything that we have going on, and it's like I'm not calling the immigrants a distraction, but I think it's a distraction to us. It's a distraction to us because we have other things we need to be doing.
And every time we start gaining momentum in something, a distraction happens, and then we lose that momentum.
Right. To me, it's baffling. I don't understand it. And then what I don't understand too is I'll have Negroes trying to come at me sideways. Like, I'm not asking something that's like a foreign time, but maybe it is foreign. Maybe people cannot actually conceive of the idea that we need to be, helping self first. First law of nature is self-preservation. We can't help everybody else if our stuff is rocky and unstable, right?
Well.
And then Ken, you say, and hello by the way, it says politics does nothing but distract us from what should be the main focus. And we should have read that comment, but because you're absolutely right, we are. But you know what? We fall for it every time. We fall for it. Like I said, I know immigrants, plenty of immigrants. Some over here not documented, some are documented, but I mean, does that mean I forget about who I am and the things that we go through? I mean, like I posted on my page, was it Antoine Rose, the young man that was murdered by the police officer in Philadelphia? I said, I wonder when everybody is done rallying for the immigrants, are they going to swing over this way and say something about this boy who was murdered in cold blood and shot in the back?
Yeah, no.
Unarmed.
They are more concerned about Black China being dropped by her 18-year-old boyfriend, and Kardashian something going on. It's just funny how people know all about that stuff, but they don't know what's going on in their community.
Hey, Anthony, what's happening? I see you've been dropping some jewels on your page today. And then Cindy says, wondering what happened to the black illegal immigrants. And that's something people don't talk about either.
Right. What happened to the Haitians?
We know anytime they saw a boat full of Haitians in the ocean,
turn them back. Turn around.
They're not, putting no feet over here.
Or better yet, if the camera's not on, shoot the boat.
Right, okay? So, I mean, but that's a beautiful point. See, nobody's talking about them. And I'm sure there are some black immigrants, but you would think that there's not. You would think that it's just about the Hispanic, which we know truly that's what it's about. That's really what this is about.
And the sad thing is, these Hispanics are Trump, wholeheartedly.
Why though? And then, I was doing some looking at some statistical data, if you will. Hey, Amanda, he says, if we allow this as a people and they get rid of these immigrants, you say, if we allow this, you said, who's next? Well, again, it's not who's next. How about who they did it to first? Because we know they've been separating black people since we got over here. The Middle Passage, we were being separated, slavery, Jim Crow. Hell, this family's being separated right now through the jail systems. A mama sidestep one way or another the wrong way. CPS is coming in. So, I mean, families being separated in the black community is nothing new.
Like I said in the beginning of the show, you want to experience America? We're going to give it all to you, baby.
Right, and then, but to your point, Amanda, it's like, okay, we can argue whose land it was first and all that other stuff, but it's like, if it's illegal for you to do these things, why are we even arguing that? It's like, that's like somebody breaking into your house and then, saying, I live here now. I'm fighting to stay here. And so when we're going to say, well, it's wrong, we shouldn't separate your ass up out my house.
Yeah, I'm very glad you brought that up, because if those guys that are listening, if you get a chance, go on YouTube, and there's a show called The Shay Show, and this guy deals with homes up in Detroit that have been rented out, people are buying the properties dirt cheap, and you will see what this guy deals with when it comes to squatters and stuff.
I can imagine.
They know that they don't own that property, and he'll show up and he'll be like a drug dealer take over the house, right? They'd be like, well, you got to show me some paperwork, because there's tricks in the court system.
Right.
Why? If I'm the owner, I don't need to show you anything.
But that's kind of what it's like, though. Exactly. I'm coming over here, and then now I'm gonna call you the big bad wolf because you want me to leave. Right? Exactly. Hey Al, I saw you texting me. I'm like, what does it mean it's not on my page? Everybody else is here, but I'm glad to see you here. He said, good news. Sean King is receiving the BET Humanitarian of the Year award tonight. I fully believe he deserves it. Now listen. Speaking of Sean King, I don't have no issue with Sean. He talks about the immigrants, but that dude goes hard for black people.
Yeah,
he does not have a problem with calling out the white establishment for what they are. So my hat's off if I had one to Sean King.
Yeah, isn't he getting that Instagram model?
No. He with a sister.
Yes, okay? Instagram model.
Now, wait now. Hopefully, Sean King doesn't get up there like Jesse Williams did. To my black queen, we love you, and then 6 months later he done left her for a white woman.
Right. I heard that.
Amanda says, let's see, I heard they are building the Amistad as we speak. I ain't getting on it. But, but are we on it already, though?
Exactly.
Are we already on it?
My beautiful queen, get us 2 first-class tickets.
Amanda said, get y'all 2 first-class tickets.
Yes, we out of here. Mamba out.
I don't know if you want to go on that Amistad, okay? And then Charlie says, I don't agree with that. They are desperate people seeking a better way of life. They are under the same propaganda too, just like us. I truly believe the language barrier is the biggest difference. Let's see. The biggest difference. Demetra, didn't you say that the census classifies them as Caucasian Latino?
Yes.
They are exercising hope, putting action in behind it, and taking advantage of their opportunities. That, of course, is just my opinion. We can care about several issues. Yes, I agree. But why, to me, it's a diversion tactic.
Right.
Okay? Now, answer me this. Why are they classifying as white? Why are they doing that? Why don't they classify as black?
Right. Or Hispanic,
or
like they
Hispanic.
used to.
Why are they doing that? And so, yes, they're hopeless and desperate people, but hell, so are we.
Right.
Get yourself in the car and drive down the street, and you gonna hope and be desperate that you don't get pulled over by the next trigger-happy police that doesn't like you for whatever reason and murder you or any other thing. So they're not going through anything that we as a people are not going through. And so again, I'm not saying that I don't have any sympathy for them. I do, but I think that we need to stay focused on ourselves, because I guarantee you, once immigration is not an issue for Hispanics or anybody else, they're not going to say, okay, black people,
let's help you out.
Let's help you out. And I want one of y'all on here, and on the podcast to name me one Hispanic leader. Just, you know what? I have a one that rallies for black people the way we rally for them. I'll wait. And then Sydney says, history repeats itself, though. To answer your question, Jews funded and voted for Hitler. Well, I mean, but those are things they'll never, ever tell.
That's the banking establishment, which is still going on to this very day. Everybody knows the Bushes are Nazis.
Right. And Anthony, I think you was laughing at how I said you were dropping Jews on your page. I don't know that it's funny, but, and then Sydney says, funny how the drug dealers knows the law. Well, somebody once told me, you can't break the rules if you don't know them.
Right.
You got, I'm sure the drug dealers know the law.
Well, they know how to stay there long enough in their rights, but technically, if you're asking me for pickwork, and this is my, okay, think about the logic of this. You go on vacation for 3 months, and you come back. So because you've been gone for 3 months, somebody could just occupy your house?
You wasn't here.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Hey, Carmen, he says, black immigrants were sent back on those makeshift boats to die at sea like the Haitian immigrants. Yes. But nobody talks about that. Nobody is talking about those, because it's not just Hispanic immigrants. There's immigrants from everywhere.
Africa, all kinds of people.
Right. Nobody talks about Cambodians or any of those other people. It's all about really Mexico. If you want to break it down.
El Salvador, Mexico, all those people. Because not really Mexico. Because like I've been telling people and trying to wake people up, he wants to build a wall not to keep those people out. He wants to keep us in, because where are the corporations setting up shop? In Mexico. So the Mexicans have no reason to come over here anymore.
They getting a job.
Yeah, because in California, especially where we live, where are the jobs here? There are none.
Yeah.
Well, warehouses, that's what I'm saying. But the manufacturing jobs are right over there in Tijuana and Mexico City. If you want to make $25 an hour or whatever, or $60 an hour, whatever they're doing, that's good money there. That's the whole point.
Right. And then Sydney says, Sean King conversation on Black Love Show, a must watch. You know what? I do want to see that, because he really does love his wife. And then Charles says
what about a side chick?
He ain't got no. I hope he ain't got no side chick. And Charles says they have unity. We don't. Exactly. So why are we unifying with people who are already unified? Charles, please, brother, help me out. We need to unify first. I'm not. What do they say on the airplane to you? What are the instructions that they give you if you have a small child with you?
Put your oxygen on first before you try to assist anybody else.
Why am I going to put on somebody else's oxygen mask, Charles, before I put it on mine?
Because you're going to pass out first.
Right. Then I can't help nobody if I'm dead.
And you can't help yourself.
Right.
Because when all this broke out, I got a lot of email people asking me my opinion on this, right? And people were shocked, because I was saying the Mexicans can help themselves. They'll be all right. Yeah. Again, it's atrocious what's happening to the children.
It is.
However, I'm not going to bring my child and put my child in a situation of danger where I could possibly be separated for, because what did we say on the last show last week? Trump has been saying this for almost a year. If you come here, Jeff Sessions said it. We are going to separate you.
At the border and said it.
And then they instituted it. Why do people think they were bluffing?
Why don't they think fat meat is greasy? Let's see. Cindy says, so how bad is the border? They said, how bad is the border really, since I don't believe in media? Well, I don't think I've ever been to the border. I've never crossed into Mexico through Tijuana.
Really?
No.
We're 90 miles from Mexico, folks. See, this is what's wrong with black folks.
I flew there, okay? I flew to Mexico.
Mexico City.
No, I actually was in Cancun.
Okay, Cancun.
I mean, not Cancun, Cabo San Lucas.
Cabo San Lucas.
Does it count?
Yeah, it counts.
Okay. So
yeah, you're in the
I don't know how bad the border is, really. I've never been.
The border is bad.
So Donovan's a man of the world. He's saying it's bad.
It's bad. And
he also said, I have a Puerto Rican activist on my page, and she considers herself an Afro-Latina.
Right on.
That's what they are.
Are you single?
She wants to know if she's single. We also say, meanwhile, those Russian illegals are having babies in Miami.
Yes.
But see, nobody's talking about that kind of stuff, though.
Nobody talks about
And Arson, he says, well, I'm kind of split between, because I'm Haitian Canadian, so my family immigrated here, and we had trouble getting my sister up here too, etc. Anyway, the reason I'm saying this is I feel weird about, let's see. Feel weird about my opinion, but at least for the moment, black people quit paying attention to the situation of the Browns. We should not feel bad for the Mexicans to the point that our attention isn't focused on any black issue. And oh my God, did you say the guy who spoke? Did you see the guy who spoke at the awards months ago, giving props to the black queens marry white girls?
Yes.
Yeah, I did say that.
Mm-hmm.
I did say that. It was Jesse Williams. What did he play on Grey's Anatomy or something like that? Yeah, it was like 2 years ago or so. Yeah. He's on the BET Award, and that speech just had everybody just
eating it up.
Oh yeah, we're eating it up. Black queens. We've been letting you down for so long. We got you, and all this other stuff, and then he go leave us this woman for a white one.
Hey, you want to be on the winning team?
Cindy says the question is how really bad. The question is how really bad is it? Like, is it really bad?
No, it's not that bad, because now that most of the corporations have moved over there, the situation's gotten bad. But in the border of Tijuana, the cartels, that's where a lot of the drugs come into California and the Arizona border right there. So a lot of the cartels control what goes in and off through that border.
And I know somebody personally who's had family members
murdered.
Murdered. Cold blood murdered by the cartel.
As a matter of fact, they dig tunnels from Tijuana all the way up into Escondido. They have found tunnels being built. Yeah.
Wow, Underground Railroad.
Exactly.
2018. And Carmen says Puerto Ricans have been struggling side by side with our black brothers. At least those who recognize they are part of. Black. The Schomburg, something like that. Center. Okay. For Black History was started by a Puerto Rican, Arturo Schomburg.
Now, here's my thing, and I don't mean to disrespect anybody that's doing that. I notice that a lot of people get their citizenship confused with their ethnic background.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so when you say Puerto Rican, I'm just asking a question. My understanding is Puerto Rican is still of the Latin grouping of African descent.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, you have some African in there.
Right.
We're all mixed up in that, but there's only 5 colors. So when people say that they're, I'm Scottish German, you're not saying anything. You're just saying you're a citizen of 2 different countries, or you guys get my point. What I'm saying is there's only 5 colors of in the world, and there's you're black, white, whatever.
Right.
Either you're Asian, you're black, you're white. Your nationality. I don't know why people
can you be stupid and crazy at the same time.
I guess you can. I guess you can.
And Cindy says you flew. Yeah, I flew. We was on vacation. We spent 8 days in Cabo San Lucas. It was 8 days too long for me. I was ready to come back. Okay. Hey Dean, he says Russians in Colorado also some rude MFs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Once they get to the big Walmart, that's it. That's it.
Al says on the Tom Joyner Morning Show, Sean King had a list of do's and don'ts for black people dealing with the police. Absolutely, and then even when you follow that list, it's like, okay, did I miss something? Because here I am with a bullet in my chest.
You know, I'm gonna say something about my boy Al.
Take your mic.
I'm gonna say something about Al real quick. For some reason, I'm not saying Al was, you know, like everybody else, he's distracted, living his life and stuff like that, whatever. But from the time that you guys have started being together, his knowledge base, and I don't mean like what he doesn't know, I'm talking about his awareness has gone up significantly.
Well, when you with a dope woman, then you can't help but to have your knowledge increase.
I'm with your sister. You know?
I'm just playing.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Hey, Yasmin, that's my homegirl.
Homegirl, okay.
Yes. She said Latinos and blacks should stick together.
Yeah. But
we will be
ain't
stronger. After all, we've been making mixed babies. True that.
Yeah.
Now listen, I agree with Yasmin. We should be sticking together.
But it's not gonna happen.
We should be, but I think that everybody should solidify their thing first, and then we can do that, because we can't, you know what I mean? That reminds me of one time when I was probably like 8 or 9. I was in the middle of a lake with a bunch of people, kids rather, and I don't know what you call that thing when all of a sudden you're walking and you just sink, the water sucks you under.
Oh, the undertow.
Undertow. An undertow took me and my friend under, and no joke, we were literally drowning. We're drowning. And so we're pushing each other up. I got you, okay, I got you. But what we're really doing is just pushing each other down so we can breathe like we were drowning. And so that's what we're going to be doing at this point. We're going to both be drowning until we figure out how to stay afloat ourselves. Now, to end the story, her sister, I don't know, she came out of nowhere with this giant inner tube and we lived.
Okay, but a question that I and a lot of people of your listeners want to know, Al probably knows the answer to this. How would you even float with all that junk in your trunk?
You turn, on your back. I don't know.
I'm saying, you know, you and your sister, y'all got, you know, y'all the blessed a little bit.
We don't go swimming.
Okay. Gotcha. You guys are a little bit blessed. You got a lot of weight back there.
And Cindy says you have to remember they have a caste system in Latin and South
yeah,
America.
Absolutely.
Don't we got that here too? If you're dark, and you know, and
you're at the bottom, you're the back of the bus.
All that. And then, hey, Asada, you said, hey, D, hey, y'all. And Charles says, cold, what's cold? And Al says, Latinos are just black people that know how to swim.
Yes.
Because we don't know how. I know how to swim, mind you. I just don't like to get in the water. Cindy says, also, Donna, remember, you are as good as your spouse. Show me your woman, and I can tell you about the state of the community. Grand Daunt from Barbados used to tell me this.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I want you to go to her page is Afro Thundo on Facebook, and that'll tell you a lot about the kind of women I deal with.
I think he was making a comment you were saying about,
I know.
He's saying go check out his credentials on Manda's page, my sister, okay?
Yes. Look at some of them pictures.
And then he said South America, the second largest African population, right? So.
Well, that's the continent. He probably means, I think the countries Venezuela and Brazil have a big African American population.
Right. So, I mean, that's all I'm saying about immigration. I'm not saying that it's right or any of that kind of stuff, that people are being separated, because it's not. I couldn't imagine being separated from my child. I mean, I would probably die. You know?
He turned 18, get the hell away from me. I'm done.
I'm talking about when they babies.
Oh,
okay?
yeah. Oh, even then, hey.
Really? If that's the way it's got to be?
Yes. Now, wait. I want these brothers to listen to this. Okay, they're separating these kids. The government doesn't know where they're at. Now, when it comes to our damn kids, they know everything, and we gotta pay all this damn child support.
They don't have a problem finding.
They got no problem finding us. Good Lord. It's sad.
Well, tell them to go delinquent on their child support or something. Come up missing in action.
If you're gonna track us, you mean to tell me you can't put these people in some kind of tracking system? Give me a break. Come on, people. Let's wake up now. I mean, am I wrong for thinking that? I mean, it's a
good point. If you make a good point.
It's sad.
Yeah, well, you always gotta find a way to bring some doggone child support in this. And then Sydney says Brazil.
Right.
Carmen says Panama has a large African population.
Yes,
too.
Lord. I've been there, and I almost went AWOL. Yes, they did.
You always talk about how he almost went AWOL for not wanting to come back from Panama.
They had to go looking for him. They had to drag me on the plane. The engines were running.
And the city says Brazil is #1 outside of Africa. Says, damn, Donovan. Everybody's laughing at your crazy self. Hey, Ed. Yeah, so. Well, I mean, maybe you need to call the Trump administration and say the same tracking system y'all use.
Yeah, you used to keep us, make sure that them payments get made.
Yeah.
So all you bleeding heart sisters out there that want to take up that thing, just say, hey, just use the family support court system to adjudicate these cases. You have no problem using it against us. Damn.
Hey, Billy, what's happening? AWOL, yes, he said he almost went AWOL.
I almost went AWOL. They had to come get me.
Because he was stuck in Panama.
Yes, I was I went on a date, a blind date, and me and this girl were, and she wasn't Panamanian. That's the bad thing. She wasn't Panamanian.
Well, what was she?
She was American. She was a soldier.
She was a sister?
Yeah, she was an army, sister.
Got it.
From Jackson.
Why didn't you just bring her back over here?
No, we came back together.
He was about to be court-martialed and everything.
Yeah,
all that,
I was having such a good time. It was a good time.
I take your word for it.
I thought she was, I'm thinking she's Panamanian now, but the Panamanians, there's not an ugly woman in the country, in Panama. Even the older women look good.
Okay. And then, he said he needs to hear the story.
Yes.
That's for another time. That's what we're going to do, story time with Donovan. We're going to call it war, back in the day, war stories.
War stories.
Right, I'm sure you...
Kind of like Oliver North's thing, war stories with Oliver North.
War stories with Donovan.
Right.
And then Carmen says, and you guys see her on here as Zuni, but I know her as Carmen. Donovan says, she says, Donovan made me laugh about not able to track Latino kids but can track black folks. It's true, though. It's true. I mean, you really think about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't go nowhere without my check being garnished or them serving me papers to show up for court.
You're like, I'm in the Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon. How did you find me here?
I'm over there.
Process server.
Yeah, I'm in Qatar. I get this message. Yeah, they need you to go to court in 60 days. What?
Because Leavenworth was your future. Leavenworth was in your future.
Yes, it was. Yes.
And it would have been worth it?
No. But the good thing is, being an aviator, is not a lot of us, so.
Right. They needed you to fly the plane?
No. It wasn't my turn to fly, but I was on that rotation, and they came and got me, and I was just like, I just lost track of time. That was the whole thing. We were smooching and stuff all night. So I just lost track of time.
That was all you were doing all night, smooching.
Just smooching.
Hey, Secret Garden, where have you been? And then Ann says, what's up with this immigrant kid thing? Well, I mean, as we were talking about, they've been separating them from their families. The people who are being detained, the adults, they are going to prison, I guess you can say, a detention center. And because the children can't go into the detention center with them, they are being separated in a different housing unit. And they're also saying that the kids are being kept in cages. And they've shown pictures of the kids being kept in cages with, I guess, thermal blankets or and mattresses on the floor.
And how many times, financially, it costs approximately, they're saying $800 a night.
$800 a night, and that's not including them flying
not including
all over the country and stuff, right.
And
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And, but we don't have money for food stamps, school lunch programs. We got a Space Force coming, all this money that they love to spend.
And that silly news anchor, what's her name? Laura Ingraham talking about it sounds like summer camp.
Yeah, there was also another anchor or a host that said that, she was on the show and she was contributing, and she's saying, some of the black people, I said, that the place was better than them.
Yeah, that they living better than black people. I was like, where is this at? Okay, just lying.
Just trying to make it. And then why is everything equated negatively with black?
Right.
So,
and then Al says, child support to some baby mamas is nothing but a tax money holiday.
That's it.
Tax
free.
He says, Elijah Muhammad warned us that we are in the belly of the beast. Yes,
we are.
Yeah, I mean, and
we
are.
Brother. Hello.
We most definitely are. You know what? I made a comment on somebody's page yesterday. They were talking about, you guys have seen a lot of the politicians being run out of town. And to the podcast, you guys, we're going to be right back. They're being not run out of town, but run out of the restaurants and stuff like that. It was a Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She was ran out of some restaurant.
And then she shot.
Right, and then the Secretary of Homeland Security, she was ran out of a Mexican restaurant.
And they're in front of protesting her house.
And they're protesting in front of her house. And I said to somebody, what I think we're witnessing is the Communist Manifesto come to life.
Yes.
Because that's what it talks about. And eventually, people are going to rise up against the machine and just...
Right, and they're rising up for different reasons. That's the different thing, because a lot of people don't realize, wherever you guys are listening from, in California, I woke up today to go get some gas. Gas has now hit over $4 a gallon. How much are they going to squeeze us before we say we're done?
Right, it's coming. I see it. And then Ed says, I mean, I have a compassion and all. It's just crazy. Our tax cash is being siphoned off even more. And he said, you must realize we are next. Shoot, we ain't next. We've been in line.
We've been on the menu for a while.
We've been on the menu for a minute.
Yeah,
and then Cindy says both of them should be fired. And then Charles says this has been an issue since the 90s and no immigration reform. It is just another political football being exploited like abortion, like privatizing everything and starving, or purposely neglecting. Let's see, purposely neglecting. The public sector, which is supposed to be equal with the private sector regulated by Congress. But hey, class warfare is just what we have, no problem being divided. But woe to the day we ever unite by common denominator, income, equality, and healthcare access. Yes, and it's funny, we should have read that because that's what the Communist Manifesto talks about. It's not really about race as much as it's about class. Now we have the rich and the poor. There's a few people hanging on in the middle class, but not very many. But for the most part, it's the rich and there's the poor. And the poor are going to say, you know what? Enough. We're going to have to go take it now.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then T. Garden says somebody is making $800 a night. Okay?
Yes.
You know, you can believe that.
These private businesses, as a matter of fact, they don't even have enough border security guards to man this thing. So they contracted out security, private security.
And I'm sure they all connected to somebody on the higher up. And Tate says the commentator's name is Rachel Duffy, a former contestant on MTV Road Rules and the
Right, I remember. Yes.
So she came over from MTV, and now she's supposed to be this big time, knowledgeable news commentator talking about black people said they living better than them.
Hey! Don't knock the hustle. She got to make her money.
I ain't knocking the hustle, but can you read a book and stop lying on black people? I know damn well you ain't talking to no black people. Say, girl, they living better than me. And Cindy says that was your page.
Okay.
And then he says, I thought Donovan hijacked your phone. That we were talking about that. Yeah. Oh, and I said, no, you're talking about the Kamala Harris. And I said, she needs to shut up or something like that. He said, he thought you hijacked my phone. And Al says, will somebody please tell DJ Khalid to shut the F up? Sounds like you just did. And then Cindy says, I think the prison population is next. As far as what, being separated or what? Next what? And then Charles says, actually, I love that. We should have been rose up like that against these racist cops and thug police and those bloodsuckers in our communities. I love them blocking ICE. I pray this is the beginning. Let's see. I pray this is the beginning of citizens standing up eye for an eye. This is it was written about by Karl Marx and Frederick Engels. And they talked about in the Communist Manifesto that there's all these classes. What is it? The bourgeoisie, the proletariat, and the
dirt serfs.
The middle class. I can't remember what they call them. The working class. But now we don't have. We only have the uber rich, the have and the have-nots. And so eventually, the poor people are just going to rise up and say there's nothing else we can do here, but we're not gonna starve, we're gonna take it. If we got to snatch it off the table, we gonna come get it.
Again, if you guys really look at the history of the United States, to be rich, you paid a high price to be rich in taxes. Now when rich people do not want to pay their fair share, thus we get the roads we have now in the United States, because that's money that we don't have. And if you've been paying attention to the budget, the exact budget that Paul Ryan wants to pass, the money that was given to the rich is the money he wants to cut in social programs and entitlements. It's the same $1 trillion.
It's the same few greedy people who are trying to dictate the way the rest of everybody's going to live, but we'd have to be considered foolish just to lie down and take it. After a while, you're not going to watch your babies starve to death. You're going to do something about it.
Nope. We're just going to take it because that's how we've been conditioned.
For now, but I see that the tides are starting to change.
Because another good thing is, a good example, when you go into Walmart, when that door greeter ask you for the receipt, you don't have to show your receipt. That is your property, unless you know you stole something.
You'll start in trouble again.
But I'm just saying, that's their way of conditioning you to bow to the state.
Right.
Because if you're willingly showing your property to somebody that you don't have to, once you're given a receipt in the store, that is now your personal property.
But people just don't know that, though.
Exactly.
Every time I leave out of there, I think about Donovan. Start in trouble.
Yeah, no, but if you think about it, though, if
you're those old ladies a hard time.
Yeah, but if you're doing that, then what are you going to do when a policeman says, show me your ID.
Show me your ID.
Yeah, you're going to show the ID. And you don't have to, unless it's a stop and frisk state.
But certain people don't have to.
Exactly.
Okay. Arson says, I find, at least up here, when people start saying stuff like, to make it seem like Latinos and blacks are the same, or that many Latinos are Afro-Latinos, and just as blacks as us, like there's no difference. There's no difference. Let's see. You be going in. There you go. No difference, etc. I'm sorry to say, but it's just wrong. Yes, of course, many Latino individuals feel for our situation, obviously, but I'm not going to look at them and change or adjust our focus. The rules of the game are just the same. Blacks still need, as a community, to presume they are alone in this and move on their own. All other communities, without exception, do it already. Why should it be an issue if we do? So, it's great to be friends with whoever we want, whites, Latinos, etc. But when it comes to what affects the entire community, it's blacks to making it all about us first.
Yes.
Why is that a hard concept to follow?
It isn't, and I'm glad you brought that up because I have a neighbor right now. This guy moves from East LA. He moves into my neighborhood. Thinks he can do what the hell he wants. He's my neighbor right next door, and he's the only person in this cul-de-sac that anybody has a problem with because he has no intentions, and my neighborhood's mostly Hispanic now. This guy has no intentions of being a good neighbor. He figures, oh, you're just that Negro over here, the military guy. He's a younger Hispanic guy, barely can speak English, and he just thinks the world is his.
But do you think that has something to do with him just being rude, or is it something to do with him being Hispanic?
It has something to do with him being Hispanic here on the West Coast. Because when you're seeing these kids riot in the high schools in LA, the blacks and the Hispanics,
they've been doing that since we was
right. But not on the scale that they're doing it now. Because what it is nobody wants to be. Because on the West Coast, people don't want to say that. They are considered the new niggas because they're doing jobs that nobody else wants to do. So they're the new niggas. And now what they're trying to do is say we're better than black folks. And they're trying to put themselves above it. That's why they have their own banks, their own stores, and all this other stuff.
Well, I would say they have their own stuff is because they do, as Charles said earlier, they have unified, and they do have a working community. We don't have that because we're so busy trying to fit in with everybody else. Let me go help you guys.
Or we're intermarrying into their community. But I was married to a woman of Hispanic background, and I'm going to tell you, that was a hell in a handbasket in itself.
So basically, you saying stop giving the sisters a hard time because the sisters ain't the only ones that's doing what y'all accuse the sisters of doing.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I heard you say.
No, all I'm going to say is Afro Thunder, I'm coming home, baby.
That's what I heard you say.
Afro Thunder, I'm coming back home.
And Cindy says Rachel married Sean, that Trump supporter who is in the House of Representatives. Oh, so now she's got to speak on behalf of her husband and them. Okay. And then you also say the prison population is about to do the work of the illegal immigrants, and they already are. Yeah. They already are. So that's a good point. And says blacks are next for them to be carted off in camps. History is repeating itself. You know what? I ain't gonna be carted off.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that because number one, they make so much money off of us. In what we're doing already.
97% of our income goes in already. Right.
So I don't think that would be. I could be wrong, but I just disagree with you on that because they make so much money off.
That's when you don't see Negroes rise up. Okay, you talking about I got to go pick cotton when?
Yeah, no. When? That's where the Mexicans come in. They want another class of that because they know black folks, we ain't having it. We ain't doing that.
Right. And then Cindy says farmers have no one to work the land.
Exactly.
Right. Well, I'd rather have my own land to work. I don't want to be picking cotton for nobody else. And you say, Paul Ryan is an ass.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, he is.
And and the funny thing is, for months he was saying, "Oh no, I'm not retiring." Remember they were bringing that up.
I thought he was retiring.
And no, he said, "I'm not retiring." And then all of a sudden, he shifts and says, "Oh yeah, I'm retiring now." He had denied it. He goes, "No, I got too much work to do now." A lot of people don't want to believe this. Remember, he ran for vice president.
Right.
He's going to lay low for a couple of years, become a lobbyist, make some money, and then he's going to come back and run.
Because he's fairly young, young 40s?
He's 44 years old.
Right,
so he's gonna run for president.
And then Billy says, what about the King Alfred plan? Well, what is that? Do tell.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
You familiar with it?
Well, I'm familiar with it. I don't.
Okay, well then tell us what that is. And then Al says, things are so different in the chocolate city that they are than they are in vanilla suburbs. White neighbors get 2 scoops of whipped cream and cherry. All the black hoods is get sprinkled nuts. This fool did. Charles says, what Elijah Muhammad said, it doesn't take 10 desperate men, one will do to start the revolution.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And a lot of times, we think that the revolution needs to start outside of our homes. It has to start in our homes first, with us and with the people we know, before we go out and try to save the world. It makes no sense if our neighborhoods, our homes are in disarray, and then we're out there trying to put on a cake for everybody else. And so that's an excellent point. And Cindy says, certain people, the North, you can't get away without showing your ID. 9/11 changed that. Well, 9/11 changed that for everybody.
Yeah, 9/11 changed it, but a lot of the laws, they didn't change the laws with 9/11. So if you're familiar with the laws, you don't, certain situations you don't have to. Some states are stopping for us, some aren't. You just got to know the law.
Right.
In California, it's a Penal Code 148G. Most police officers should know that because that is their basic thing to stop you. They have to have reasonable suspicion.
But you need to know that if I'm a white cop, you're black or Hispanic or whatever, and my main objective is to subject you. I don't have to recite any laws.
No, you don't. But
you know what I'm saying? But they're like, you gonna do what I say regardless. You don't question me.
But if you're reciting the law to them and they see that you know what you're doing, they don't know if you're a lawyer, they don't know what your situation is. And it kind of makes them back off. And whenever I travel in California, especially when I head toward LA, everybody laughs at me. But in D's seen it, I have a body camera.
Donovan has a few body cameras.
Yeah, and I have glasses that have cameras in it.
You ain't gonna be telling nobody about the bat secret?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you about that. But the thing is, though, when people are on camera, especially law enforcement officers, totally different. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm looking for a lawsuit. I'm looking for a lawsuit.
So I'm your friend, so we can say
absolutely.
Okay.
I'm getting you out of here. You're going to Houston.
And then Al says, I don't mind showing a Walmart receipt, but I hate the annoying ass Salvation Army bell ringer. And he also said, my stepdad used to say in his line of business and work, he had to speak Spanish, and I said, yeah, so that you know what people are calling your dumbass. Right. Wow. I've actually had that happen a few times when people have said stuff. I was like, I understood that.
Yeah. I don't want to change the subject real quick, but I think it's very important. For those that are going to be watching the video later on, Dee does a lot of quick infomercial commercials in regard to
infomercials.
Yeah.
I'm not selling anything.
No, but you're selling knowledge.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to give it away.
Yeah, and recently in the news, you talked about a woman that reported a girl trying
to. I think that's an awesome transition. I'm going to get this comment and then we're going to go ahead and show the video. You guys won't see it, but on the production you'll be able to see it. Now, Cindy says, Donovan, you are wrong. That Tyler is about to be impeached, and Ryan will be your VP, and they will have their the votes for him. Well, we'll see. So anyway, let's go ahead and make a transition to something else. He says, El Toro.
El Toro.
El Toro. That was an F. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, as you guys have seen, and then Charles, let me get your comment. It says 911 basically voided the Constitution and gave the oligarchy full control over U.S. citizens, as well as legally giving the president power to declare war, spy, detain without charging, and
charging you as a terrorist. Right.
No due process.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Suspension of habeas corpus. And all the president's got to do is say you're a terrorist. You have no legal ramifications, no legal right to even go to a court. Then you could be locked up for years.
Which a lot of people are.
Currently.
All right, so let's make the transition. You guys have seen in the news yet another white woman weaponizing the police against black people. This time.
Oh, sorry.
This time it was a little 8-year-old black girl.
Dangerous.
Very
dangerous. Yes.
And you guys know what she was selling? She was selling water bottles. In San Francisco.
I heard she was selling crack.
You think so? I mean, the way the lady was acting, you would have thought she was selling some crack. She was mad at the little girl for selling water bottles. In San Francisco was hot. Apparently, I don't know if there was a game or something going on.
It's hot there, yeah.
It was hot. And so the white lady is ranting and raving that the little girl didn't have a permit to do so. Okay. And so, she's alluding that she's calling the police.
Yeah, is this white woman a law enforcement?
No, this white lady has you might be interested in this actually. Okay. She has a marijuana business that sells marijuana to pets.
And probably to the people in back door.
Right. She's selling pet marijuana. So anyway, she's mad because the little girl Is okay. I'll check that out, Billy. She's
Oh my gosh.
she's mad because the little girl's selling water. She doesn't have a permit, so she's saying that I guess she's calling the police. And she goes viral. The lady's name is Allison Edel or something like
And
that.
she needs to be shamed.
Yeah, she went viral, and during the video she tries to hide. She tries to hide the fact that she's calling the police
If you're
on this
big and
8-year-old
bad,
baby.
yeah,
Right.
if you're big and bad, why are you hiding?
And that's the little girl's mama who was recording. Said, "Nah, boo, don't try to hide. Come get this.
Yeah, get all of it.
Yeah, because you want the attention, now you're going to get it." So, of course, she tried to backtrack on her social media, saying that she's not racist. What really made her mad was because the mama was screaming and hollering and making a bunch of noise, and it was going on.
Isn't it funny how the narrative keeps changing?
Right.
Kind of like Trump when he says one thing and it
Right.
changes later on down the road. But before you cut, let's take a look at that video, and then you guys chime in on the video cast and tell us what you think.
Cold water for $2.
This woman don't want to let a little girl sell some water. She calling police on an 8-year-old little girl. You can hide all you want. The whole world gonna see you, boo.
Yeah, and illegally selling water without a permit? Yeah.
On my property.
It's not your property.
A little girl was trying to sell bottled water so she could go to Disneyland. Now her story has exploded into a flood of controversy. That video of her neighbor calling the police now viewed more than 1 million times.
Cold water, $2 only.
This morning, 8-year-old Jordan Rogers is an internet sensation for selling bottled water on the street in front of her house.
This woman don't want to let a little girl sell some water.
This woman is Allison Edel. This morning, she's a social media villain for calling the cops on her young neighbor.
Yeah, and illegally selling water without a permit?
We don't know what happened leading up to this video being shot. Edel, being called Permit Patty online, says she was working at home upstairs, and Jordan's sales pitch was loud and nonstop.
I tried to be polite, but I was stern. And I said, please, I'm trying to work. You're screaming, you're yelling. And people have open windows. It's a hot day. Can you please keep it down?
Edel says she never confronted Jordan, just her mother, Erin Austin, who took this video.
She calling police on an 8-year-old little girl. You can hide all you want. The whole world gonna see you, boo.
Austin tells a different story.
She never asked us to be quiet. She just came out and directly demanded to see a permit to sell water from an 8-year-old.
Saturday Night Live cast member Cecily Strong parodied the incident with her own video.
This woman is calling the police on the flowers for drinking the water.
Okay, illegally drinking my water, okay? Illegally drinking my water.
Some on social media say they're reminded of a similar incident in Oakland 2 months ago. A woman dubbed Barbecue Becky called police to report an African-American man grilling in an area where it wasn't allowed. Some say both incidents are racially motivated.
That woman thought that she could use her white privilege, and it didn't work.
Edel says she's now gotten thousands of hateful emails.
All kinds of threats. Horrible images. And death threats.
Jordan says she was trying to raise money to help her mom, who recently lost her job, and go to Disneyland. Over the weekend, she got some good news.
They know you want to go to Disneyland, and they bought you 4 tickets to go.
Hey, Miguel, after Edel saw the firestorm that followed the video, how does she feel now? What does she say about that?
Well, Edel says she's not proud of how she acted, and she would apologize to Jordan and her mother, both of whom say they would not accept that apology. Guys, back to you.
All right, Miguel.
All right. So the video that you guys just saw, you guys didn't see it, but you will see it. It's a little thing that I actually did. I put together today talking about it. And so, again, like I said, it's just another white woman who has joined the ranks of all the other white women who have weaponized the police. You had Holly at Starbucks. You had Barbecue Becky.
Yeah.
You know, a whole host of other white women just think it's cool to call a lie. Why are we doing this to people? Like the guy who called the police on Stephon Clark, he said he would never call 911 again because he didn't think that was going to go on. He thought legitimately maybe somebody was breaking in to cars or whatever he called the police for.
Yeah.
This is what he's saying, and he said the fact that they did that to him, he would never ever call 911 again. And so you're not calling the police because this little girl is selling crack, unless she has some crack in her. I don't know, crack water. I don't know. But you didn't call the police because she was doing anything bad. Like, why are you calling? You mad because she's selling water? Because help me understand, Patty.
Right. Okay.
Help me understand.
You want, and that's why I was saying about blacks going to camps. It's not going to happen. They make money off of us. They complain about us when we try to do something legitimate, and they complain about us when we do something illegitimate.
Right.
You can't win.
Help me understand. I'm confused. It's like, why are we calling the police on little girls selling water? So anyway, let's see. And then Sydney says, "What's up with the Bay?" Yeah, that's when Barbecue Bacon was from Oakland, and then this lady, Allison from San Francisco. And then you also say, and she doesn't have a permit. Yeah, that's what my daughter was saying, that it was wrong. The word on the street is that Allison, permit Patty, doesn't have a permit either. So it's like, now you worried about my backyard and you ain't got your backyard together.
Right, and we know from our research to even have a permit is expensive money.
Yeah, it's like $26,000 to have a permit, and you may or may not even get the license once, they take your money. So it's like a gamble. A lot of people are just doing it illegal, and it says to sell marijuana. And then Tay says a hashtag permit Patty. Yeah, that's what they're dubbing her now. Man, I don't understand. It's like, but I do understand, because once she tried to clarify that she wasn't being racist, or she wasn't trying to stop the little girl from making money because she understands about entrepreneurship and all this other stuff, she's mad because her mom was making all this noise and yelling. And it's like, okay, so what I heard that you didn't say is you're mad because this lady didn't bow down to you. She didn't
follow your directions.
Yeah, follow your directions and take your orders and just be quiet. She didn't do that, and so you're going to force the issue and weaponize the police. And Sean King put up something yesterday that basically says that the police is like customer service for white people.
Yeah.
Hello, police, I'm having an issue. Got these black people, they won't listen to me. Can you please come out here?
Right. And another thing is, okay, and I know, black folks, we have a little thing with the police and stuff. And the services are kind of slow when it comes to certain neighborhoods in the black community, if you live in certain neighborhoods.
Right.
If you want to get the police out, and please share this with anybody, you want to get the police out to your place really fast, just mention gunplay.
Gunplay?
Yeah, just mention I heard some guns go off, and they will be there lickety-split faster than if you said, well, they're fighting.
What if you said there's a black man running around the neighborhood?
Well, yeah, if you're in a white neighborhood, yeah, something like that. But I'm just saying, you got to be creative.
Why can't there be a black person walking around your neighborhood? And we've seen that a lot too. Black people in a neighborhood, a white neighborhood, and then they call the police, well, you just don't look like you belong here.
Right.
Or where do I look like I belong?
And the funny thing is, I go overseas to different countries, right? I never have a problem over there with me being a black man walking around. Nobody of course we look different, but there's no. And I'm not saying they want me there, but you know what I mean. I don't have a problem.
Right.
Just being myself and then letting me be me.
Yeah, here in America in 2018, we're still in the wrong neighborhood.
Wrong neighborhoods, but yet they love taking our money, but.
Right. And Tay says they could pull a Hunger Games and break us up into districts. The poorest of the poor, hungry to survive in one district, blacks in another, and the elite rich whites running the show in District 1. I've never seen the Hunger Games. I've heard a lot about it. But yeah, that sounds like, are we already there?
I think we're already there.
Are we already there? And then Al says the white cop who killed the Mexican kid had a mistrial. What's crazy is it takes a person 3 months to become a cop, but it takes 12 months for a person to be a licensed barber. There's a lot of things that take you a lot longer to be a police officer, and then somehow they're passing these psychiatric evaluations, but then maybe they're
and then
just like us.
And then again, some of them are not. That girl that shot that guy in the window in Oklahoma.
On the freeway?
Yeah. On the freeway. She, after she got fired from that police department, she was hired at the next city right over.
And the guy who killed the little boy, the 17-year-old rather, in Philadelphia a couple days ago, he was actually fired from, I can't remember which college it was, somewhere in Philadelphia, I guess. He was fired for brutalizing black students, and the straw that got him fired was that he actually brutalized the chancellor's son. And so that's when they had enough, you know.
Right.
And so then he got hired on to the police department that he was in. Was only sworn in 3 hours.
And got involved in the shooting.
Before he killed this little boy.
Yeah, and the girl that got fired and got picked up by a thing, they even said in the evaluation during her adjudication case, she should not be a police officer. Her mentally, she
right, so
isn't.
why keep making the police officers then? You know, I guess, well, you're just killing black people, so what difference does it make what your mental state is? Just as long as you don't kill no white people.
Right, exactly.
You know, and like the black cop that killed the white lady's shoe, they didn't waste no time locking his butt up.
Exactly.
I wonder if he's out. What happened to Blue Lives Matter? The Blue Shield, did they raise some money from him? And Shelly, you said Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
I mean, the black cop that shot the white lady, did they raise money for him? Is it all the Blue Lives Matter people out there?
Now notice we don't hear nothing about it because probably he doesn't exist anymore.
You think he's missing in action?
I think it's a oops.
Natural
causes, right?
And they dealt with that Negro swiftly, and that's another thing. I mean, we think we can keep doing stuff they do and get away with it.
Right. I mean, look at all these black people missing across the nation. Is that a coincidence?
Well, it's probably not a coincidence, but to your point about all the black people missing across the nation, we're too busy worrying about other people being separated. Yeah, I mean, right there in Chicago, they said that it sounds like there's an epidemic, and it has been for a while, of black girls and women missing.
Right.
You know, they don't know if they're connected or, you know, if there's a serial killer running around, but the fact of the matter is these girls and women are missing, and yet we're hollering about immigration. You know, because those people, depending on what their situation is, they're safe to some degree before they come over here.
Right.
But then once you come in, you knew the job was dangerous before you took it. You came over here knowing that you may get detained, and all of a sudden, that's like I saw a video. Somebody took the video of the Border Patrol sheriffs or whoever they are. They're kicking over some water bottles that were left in the desert for the immigrants.
Yeah, the coyotes, right?
Yeah, so people are like, oh, that's mean, that's cold. It's like, okay, yeah, it might be cold. Y'all kicking over some water bottles for somebody might need it, but what is you doing what is you doing there?
Yeah.
What are you doing in the desert and you know you ain't supposed to be over there? I mean, to me, it's just, well, they have a law in, it's a legal term called clean hands. Sydney, help me out.
Yeah, it's called clean hands.
I can't say, take you to court for
stealing your weed.
Yeah.
Stealing your weed.
Stealing my weed and selling me some bad crack.
Right.
Because neither one of it's legal.
Clean hands.
So
Clean hands.
It's like there's no clean hands in that situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like that water belonged to somebody who was doing the right thing. And water belonged to somebody who was potentially getting ready to break the law.
Right. And like I said, why is it that they can spend $800 a night on people who are not legal citizens, but then when we say, free health care, they can't do that?
Right. Exactly.
It just doesn't make sense.
And then Shelley says, right. And then Al says, please, you and Donovan watch the episode of Starsky and Hutch when they accidentally killed the black kid and then they questioned their reason for being a cop.
Wait. Isn't that the moment Huggy Bear goes, well, I don't know, but the word on the street is...
Yeah, I was telling me about that one time.
Yeah, I think I can that up.
And then you're asking me what my thoughts on Chicago are. Well, you're talking about as far as the girls that are missing. I mean, I don't really know. My dad calling. I don't really know for sure what's going on as far as Chicago is concerned. But what I do know is, I mean, something needs to be done. Like, we need to focus on the issue. Like, where are these girls? Who's taking these girls?
Well, can I ask you this? If this was Becky missing, do you think that they would dedicate numerous resources to find out what's going on?
There would be one Becky missing. And my phone is heating up, you guys, so if it cuts out, I do apologize. It's hot. It's hot in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so whatever's going on with these girls, we need to get to the bottom of that and stop being distracted. And see, a lot of people probably didn't know that Chicago is having issues with girls missing, girls and women. Just
Houston too. Houston
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Our black women are turning up missing. If that's an oxymoron, turning up missing. But they're missing, but we're so focused on something else. It's like, why don't we know that? Why don't we know what's going on in our own community? Why do we know? Why are we well versed on what's going on in everybody else's community? But we're like, really? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they said this. The last time I heard, there was 3 underage minors missing, and one woman who was like 24, 26. And one of them were found dead in an empty building, and I actually did a video on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's an issue. But why don't we know about that? Why aren't we focusing our issues, our attention on that? Why aren't our black leaders like the Kamala Harrises and all these other people? And yes, I gotta ask the grind with Kamala. I really do.
I gotta ask the grind with all black leadership.
But I really gotta ask the grind with her because she's now being seen as the face of hope and change. And you know, she's this black woman or whatever the case is, but she rarely talks about black
right.
people.
What I hate is the Democratic Party, and I'm not a Democrat. They keep talking about how Obama's this bad person and it's everybody else's fault of why Trump is in office now because we didn't vote, we didn't get out to vote. No, the problem is they put up a candidate that nobody wanted. So it's the Democratic Party's fault that this man is in the position that he's in. And now they're telling us this chick is the go-to chick to get behind.
Yeah, Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
But she never talks, rarely says anything about black people. Rarely. And she's from California, so I know a little bit about her. To me, I call her Miss, every chance I get, I call her Miss Miss Photogenic because she's there on the scene. She's talking, walking tall and talking tough about immigration, but yet you got people in your own backyard, Miss Harris, who've been murdered. There's another black dude in Sacramento who was gunned down unarmed by police officers a couple days ago.
Yeah, for those that don't know,
she ain't said nothing.
Yeah, for those that don't know, she used to be the former California Attorney General.
Right.
And when she was talking about the children on the border, she was saying, I was a former prosecutor and Attorney General. I know what a cage looks like. Yes, she does. However, she's not telling you that when they put up the commutations for like certain people and the shootings in the black thing here in California, she didn't even give it one look.
Well, she not, well, because black people are, she's like, I don't need you guys, black people.
Right.
You guys are going to vote for me just because I'm black.
Yeah,
so I don't even need to champion anything that you do.
Have.
And then, Charles, you're saying, wow, and you also saying Kamala, is she Hillary's light / Obama 2.0 married to a white man? Yes, yes, yes. She is. That's what I've actually heard them call her, the second coming over Obama and all that other
with
stuff.
With the feminine agenda, they're trying to wrap her up and then say, this is who we're going to run.
Right, no, I ain't voting for Kamala.
But I'm going to tell you this, if the Democrats put her up, people are tired of the Democratic Party telling us who our leaders are. If we're telling you we don't want that person, they should listen to that.
Right, well,
and if they don't listen to it, Trump will be there for another 4 years. But
we're going to fall for a hook, line, and sinker.
Right, and Trump will be there for another 4 years.
Right. And then Sydney says, intent, go to the store asking for sugar, but you get Coke. You can't buy, so you can't be arrested asking for but you get sugar, you can be arrested. I think I might have jumbled that up, and I think you were speaking to the clean hands law.
Yeah.
And then I said, how about this? Kenyon was fired from Atlanta Housewives.
What? Oh, wait. Time out. Wait, we got to go figure it out. Let's get some facts on. Is she still pregnant though, Al? See how you see what I'm saying? See how we know all that stuff? Yes, my brother. Yes. Educate us.
Arson, you say you Americans need more than just the two parties is all I can say.
Yes.
By the way, Obama never used to say much when all black people were being shot by cops nonstop under his presidency. He still don't say nothing.
Yeah, he still doesn't say anything.
He still doesn't say anything at all.
If you watch our other show or listen to my individual podcast, I talk about that all the time. He was put there for a specific reason to stop the free fall and the Occupy Wall Street movement across the United States. That's why he was put there. We've been waiting ever since.
He still doesn't say anything at all.
He won't say a thing.
He won't say a thing. It's just
exactly.
I think he made a comment, if I had a black son or Trayvon would have been my son.
Right, but he was very careful in his words.
Right, he didn't want to piss off
because remember, most of his cabinet were Wall Street, Hillary type people. So.
I mean, it's like, brother, you ain't in the office now. Why can't you say something? You know? Say something.
Thank you.
Stop killing black people. Something. And then Charles, you say absolutely Democrats doubling down on known losing strategies. They lost to Trump, still won't turn over leadership and power to the progressives.
Nope.
No, they want us to keep on voting for the same old
Nancy Pelosi,
all those cats,
all of them.
And we'll do it.
We'll do it.
And we will do it. And then Al said she lied about her pregnancy and that was the final straw. Lord have mercy.
So she wasn't pregnant? Is she still married? What about Kim Zolak? Candy Bears?
Y'all got issues.
I stopped watching after season 6.
So that's what it took.
Yeah.
You finally got the hint after season 6.
Yes. Is Phaedra coming back?
I can't believe this. Archie says, okay, Donovan, I do need the info for your podcast, then thank you.
Okay, I'll send that to you.
And so, what time we got? We got about 15 minutes. What else you guys want to talk about? Donovan, you have anything on the ticker that you're dying to talk about? Anybody?
On the ticker? Well, no, this is your show, but me and Afro Thunder are thinking about vacationing down in Cabo.
Yeah. Like I said, I was there 8 days and I was ready to go out.
Okay, well, as you know, that only needs 15 minutes, so we'll just go to the Marriott Riverside. How about that?
What y'all do is y'all business, man. Al is going to give us all the malt liquor for black people report.
Yes.
And he says that power does return next Sunday.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And Cindy is saying that's way too much damn information. I'll put the damn in there, okay?
Right,
that's too much information. Yes, Al is going to give us the niggadom report from television. Okay, power comes on next Sunday.
Yes. Well, you know what I do want to talk about, though? For those of you guys that are veterans, they have programs where in certain amusement parks and stuff, if you got kids or whatever, there's no reason why you should be paying. There you go. There's no reason why you should be paying for that when there's programs there where they will give you free tickets to go to Disneyland, Six Flags, and all this other stuff. If you guys look it up and just do some little research, I go to these amusement parks in California every year for free. So look it up. If you got any questions, I'll direct you to the place to go.
The veteran go-to. Yes, Charles. I guess they felt like we needed to know that. You know, who was it? What's the child's name on Atlanta Housewives just said?
What's the name?
Somebody's not pregnant and got.
Kenya. She's not pregnant. Kim Zolciak's daughter talking again.
Do we need to know that?
Well, I think we do because
no, stop it.
Because when when people are looking at these black women and they're looking at that thinking that that's normal or that's the way it's going to be. It's not, because all it's doing is objectifying black women, and I think that is wrong. What's her name? That was married to the football player. She's real pretty, whatever. She was running around in a Aston Martin that she leased for over $100,000, but yet she had her child laying in a room, Chateau Chalet, whatever it is, in a room with no furniture in it, on a little mattress. We gotta stop this. Let's stop this madness.
Stop the madness.
Stop the madness.
Stop the ratchetness.
The ratchetness.
All right, here we go. Al Jack Joseph.
Yes.
Walgreens is selling a pill containing Viagra and Rogaine that gives you a hard head.
I think I might stop by there.
And then Lotus person is outside. Why don't you go get some corn?
Yeah, some corn with mayonnaise and or a watermelon stick.
Yeah, a watermelon stick.
Yes.
Something.
And I'm gonna give a health tip for everybody.
Okay,
real
health
quick.
tip. From Donovan's health tip.
Yes, especially if you guys are in the South where there's high humidity. Drink coconut milk with the pulp in it. It is very good.
Coconut milk or water?
Coconut water.
Okay.
Coconut water,
That
because it has electrolytes. Yeah, it has electrolytes in it, and it'll replenish you a lot faster than Gatorade or sports.
Look at you, trying to be all healthy and stuff. You know you can go get you some Winco chicken as soon as
I did it yesterday.
With some coconut water?
Yes, I did actually.
Okay.
And remember that coconut I had in there?
Yes.
Drained it, drank it. Good to go.
And Charles says, I despise all the black reality show foolishness and Negro celebrity fame wars. I do too.
I do too.
And all that stuff they talking is just, it's like another language to me. So Al says, give us a financial tip.
Financial tip. I'm going to give you guys this. Go to, there's a lot of apps out there, Stash, a lot of investing apps.
Oh, I saw the email you sent me to talk about we got the dividend. We lost?
No, we got dividend. Yeah, we gained a dividend. But what these apps do, they take the middleman out of this. You don't need a broker, so that'll take a lot of money and help you save. So me and D and I are investing in marijuana because fools are going to smoke it anyway.
We ain't smoking it. We just investing in it.
And we just got a dividend off of it, and we own 10 shares right now, and we keep buying every week.
Is that Bahamas money, or is that San Bernardino money?
It doesn't matter to me. It don't matter to me. However, I'm going to tell you guys, invest in the marijuana stock, even if it's at a, right now it's going for like $35 a stock. So if you can get 1, 2, 3 shares, 10 shares, that they predict that is going to triple in 2 years.
We'll wait for it.
Yes. I mean, we already got trying to get our dividends already.
Right. So if I had to give a financial tip, I always just tell people, never spend more than you make. I don't care, you don't need a budget. Or, I mean, yeah, I guess if some people need a budget, I don't need a budget. For me, it's simple as don't spend more than you make.
And look for the deals, like I just told you about free.
The Deal Master, yes.
Exactly.
Deals, and I always ask, do you have a
out
special coupons on it and stuff, but
military discount, it all adds up in the end.
yeah,
really
they're
does.
saying it's awesome information. Like Ken says, Demetra and Donovan should have their own TV show.
Working
I
on
think
it.
we should too.
We're working on
We
it.
gotta find us, right now, I think this will have to do, right?
Well, no, I wrote Oprah and she replied, she said, F you.
Oprah said, not on my television show.
She you know what she said? You two have been talking.
You've been talking about Oprah. You've been talking about Oprah.
No, she said, you two have been talking the whole time these people have been up here, like we went up to the Capitol.
That lady was not over it. Wow. Listen, we're never going to be on Oprah.
Yes.
Donovan has made sure of that, but thank you. And then Al says, ask D&D, what direction does the sneeze travel? At you. Yeah, but and that's what I say. You really just don't spend more than you make.
Yeah,
To me, it's that simple. You're making $5. Don't spend $6.
Right.
Spend $3, $2.
Exactly.
No matter how much money you make. I mean, we know people who I have this great job and making 6 figures, but you got like minimum wage in the bank.
Right.
You know?
Real talk. I have friends that make 6 figures.
Be careful now.
And they're broke. And they're broke. No, I have friends that make 6 figures and they're broke.
Well, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
And they're broke. And that's why I tell people, don't come to California. Do not come to California. This is a great place to visit. You do not want to live there.
Right.
Seriously.
Our son says, yes, it's going to be completely legal on our side by October 17th. What are some of the companies you recommend I look into? I already have some stock in there, but so not sure who to risk some money on.
Just Google cannabis stock, and it'll give you the whole gamut of what's out. Just put cannabis stock in the Google search bar, and it'll tell you all of the companies that are going. And right now in the United States, we don't have any. These are international companies. And one of the companies that is in it is RJ Reynolds. If you know who RJ Tobacco company, so they are waiting for the legislation to pass so they can monopolize the industry.
So they can sell cigarette.
Cigarette, exactly.
Right.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Cigarettes.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly.
Is that how you smoke? I've never smoked before.
But that's exactly what's going to happen, and I strongly recommend doing that and invest in some cannabis stock.
Okay. Well, there you have it. And Al says, don't forget Nita Baker gets her Lifetime Achievement Award tonight. On what show, Don?
That's the BT Awards.
How do you know? You got it on
No,
DVD already, don't you?
I stopped watching award shows.
Lying.
That's for pimps and hoes.
Let's stop lying.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. Anita deserves every award she gets. I hope she comes out here. I would love to see Anita.
Yeah, I just don't want her ex-husband to show up.
Why? Y'all got beef or something?
No, they had bad beef.
Oh, like a side piece or something?
No, hey,
okay.
I did that back in the day.
You did or you would?
I would.
Oh, about to say, that's a whole other show right there.
I would. I mean, she got money. See, if you gonna do it, hey, I'll take one for the team. She's got some money. Do it. I see brothers get with chicks that are broke, and you be like, okay.
That's what I gotta deal with. And Arthur says, okay, thanks guys. I knew you guys would have good pointers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we got 2 nickels to rub together, maybe.
Well,
I got 2 pennies. He's got $200 bills we rub together.
I'm working on it. And another good example, if there's some projects you can do for yourself, do them for yourself. I put my kitchen in and it saved me $15,000 doing it myself.
He did it himself. I was here.
And I'm getting ready to put some new windows in my house, which is going to save on the energy bill. They're more efficient. My house is 37 years old. If you can do it, and it's not that hard, just YouTube it, watch the thing, bam, 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 put your stuff in. If you really don't know what you're doing, get a carpenter.
Somebody to help you.
Yeah, help you do it. And ask questions and save some money. So by putting my windows in myself, that's going to save me another $10,000.
Right. All right. Well, I can help you figure out what to do with the savings if you like.
Well, Amanda's got that handled,
Okay, I can talk to her.
You saw that picture you sent me that yeah. I sleep on that every night.
Okay. Okay. Al says BET means broadcast every 10 minutes. I guess.
I thought it stood for Black Entertainment for Teenagers.
So. Either one. So anyway, that's all we got, you guys. We don't have anything else. We are going to let you go unless you got something else to talk about. It is our pleasure as always to do this. We will be here next week. Is there anything going on next week? No?
Nothing going on next week, but please tune in if you want to see the live video cast. We're going to be putting that up.
Yeah, he's going to put that up. And so we are going to get out of here all sweaty and everything, and we will talk to you guys later. See you guys on Facebook. Please have a great rest of the day.
2 and 2. Peace.